Welcome to Forward Ever, Leading in Challenging Times, presented by Worth Wealth Management, a weekly conversation with area leaders about how to persevere during uncertain times. Now here's your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Forward Ever, Leading in Challenging Times. Have a great show today, and glad you're listening along. Our program is brought to you by Worth Wealth Management. Our show deals, as you know, of leading in challenging times. And our guest today and the team where he works understands challenging times, especially for families. Trevor Kennedy is the Director of Administration and Programming at Camber of Hayes. Camber is a relatively new group, I say relatively, to Northwest Kansas, but the work they do is so very important. Trevor, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. Before we get too involved or get started, I would like to thank you immensely for giving us the opportunity and the platform to speak today. And thank you for reaching out. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I had a chance to go through your location, the one out by the airport. And when I left, I was thinking, how many people drive by Old Highway 40, drive by Interstate, take off from the airport, and get within a mile or two of your facility and probably really don't know what all you do. Now, at one point, you were located downtown at the Hadley Center. That closed up for a while. But talk about what you do at the Camber facility. Just kind of give an overview, and then we'll dive in and talk about a few specific things.
Okay. Yeah. So at Camber Hayes, we are a mental health psychiatric hospital. We specialize in behavioral health care. At our Hayes location, we have 32 beds. We have two separate programs located at our Hayes location. We have an acute care program, so an acute hospital, and then we have a psychiatric residential treatment facility that has 18 beds. So our acute care program, those are individuals in a active acute mental health crisis. So a lot of our individuals coming to our acute program are being screened in from emergency room departments, our community health centers. They're coming law enforcement officers, the latter of different reasons to be screened in for an acute psychiatric stay. And then our PRTF program is our psychiatric residential treatment facility. Those are individuals that are with us longer duration of stay, typically anywhere from 2 to 4 months. Those are individuals that typically have exacerbated all the community health resources, right? And they just need a little extra care for us. And that's why our doors are open to better help our individuals get prepped and prepared for what the challenges life brings them.
You know, when looking at that, I see some numbers that it's hard to imagine. But I had down that you guys actually serve about 600 or more children and teens each year who are in immediate need of some sort of compassionate mental health care. And you see that, you don't think, wow, that's a big number. But before you guys opened your offices over here, people had to go hundreds of miles away to get the same type of service. And yet you open your doors, and I don't say you're full every day, every minute, but you guys are full about every day, every minute.
Yeah, our doors, obviously, they stay open 24/7. Our beds typically are fairly full, upwards of 90% capacity. Typically, when we reopened our acute care in the tail end, the beginning of 2023, right, we opened to the rural area of Kansas. Obviously, our beds are open to anybody throughout the state of Kansas and some beds in Colorado. But our main focus at the Hayes location is to take care of individuals in our backyard in our rural parts of Kansas. Rural Kansans deserve top quality mental health treatment as well. So being the doors that are open to take care of them in that capacity gives us great pleasure, and we take pride in it.
So you also, in addition to treatment, don't you have other kind of free resources for parents and caregivers that help with mental awareness or mental wellness?
Yeah, we do. I would always let our individuals know to check out our website at cambermentalhealth.org. There's a drastic amount of resources on there. There's daily blogs, there's informations on diagnoses, there's admission information. Our website is down-packed and full of educational resources for individuals that can better help mental health treatment for not only their child, but themselves.
Sometimes you don't think about all this, but How did you get into it, Trevor? Because you come about it with the amount of enthusiasm. I see in the background you have some charts in the background that you work with families and kids and develop programs to help each individual there. But I really didn't realize the need for this. You know it's there, but it's amazing the need out there.
Yeah, how I came about it, it's kind of a not a crazy story. I was raised in and around my grandparents, were foster parents to quite a few kiddos throughout my upbringing. So I saw what one caring adult could. I saw the change that one caring adult could make in an individual's life. And as soon as I got old enough to partake in the groundbreaking work that we're doing, I hopped right in. So I think I started back in the day. We had to be 21 years old to start. We currently you have to be 20 years of age to start with us at Camber, but I think I was 22 years old. So right when I was able to take up the opportunity to help make some positive differences in our kids' life, um, I took to it.
Is there a specific person that you looked up to, was your mentor to get you coached into this direction?
I don't necessarily know if I have specific mentors. Obviously, I've been blessed throughout the my life to have great individuals in my life. I very much look up to my father, my mother, my grandparents. They were pillars throughout my upbringing, just for positive relationships, things of that nature. I have mentors throughout this organization as well that have strongly influenced my life in a positive trajectory as well. A few that come to my mind is Marlena Hargett, who you have met. She's our old executive director. She's made quite the impact in not only my career, but a drastic amount of employees in our Hayes location, as well as Bobby, who you're well aware of as well. I worked with him my first stint here, and then I've continued to work with him, but he's also a great person to work with.
Let's talk about Camber. They're bigger than just Hayes, and I know they're working on redoing some services in Wichita. How big is Camber?
So we have four locations currently in the state of Kansas, or four Canberra hospitals. We have Canberra Hayes, we have Canberra Wichita, we have Canberra Kansas City, and then Children's Mercy Canberra located in Olathe. Altogether, we serve around 200 mental health care beds throughout the state and region.
So somebody that has somebody, tell you what, let's take a break because you bring up a good question when you talk about there's different locations. But if you know of somebody that needs help, you probably just don't come out and knock on the door. There has to be some sort of referral, whether it be to the one here or one of the other areas. You guys do great service, but I want to come back and talk about how people get into your system. How do they get the help they need at Camber? Trevor, hang on. We're going to take a quick break. Our program is brought to you by Worth Wealth Management. We'll be back after this.
Since 1776, the United States of America continues to stand tall. It's been tested before, many times. Through grit and the ability to move forward, we create better tomorrows. We help our clients live their best lives to and through retirement. We make it easier. Thank you, Kansas. Worth Wealth Management, enhancing lives and strengthening families.
Welcome back to Forward Ever, leading in challenging times. Our guest is Trevor Kennedy with Camber. We talked earlier, many people drive by the Camber building. They don't even know it's there. But they serve hundreds of children and young adults every year. And so Trevor is a part of that whole team that makes that all work. But if you don't know it's there, how do you get help for somebody that you know that needs mental health as a young person or as a child? How do you get into your system, Trevor?
So obviously we work very close knit with our providers throughout the region, but the easiest way to answer that would be to check out our website and go through our admissions process. Our admissions line is all over our website. You call that, you get screened in appropriately, or we can do direct admissions as well. If you come to our site, any site, you can be screened in as well to get the treatment and services that we do provide.
So by going to that website, you can check those things out. You can do that, understand the age requirements are certain ages that you guys take as well, different in Hayes than maybe some of the other areas, but explain that.
So at this time, we're all the same. So the age requirements for us, or the ages typically that we serve, are from 6 to 18 years of age.
One of the things I noticed is that this isn't just hallways with uh, offices or rooms off to each side. There's a lot of things that are built into this that are really unique. And one of them includes a giant cover for outdoor basketball and all those sort of things. And you're continuing to improve that sort of thing. The Schmidt Foundation has been interested and been a part of helping this whole process grow because there is a need for helping kids get through the system, so to speak. You do that in a, it's not like a regular hospital. It almost looks like it's not fun to be there, but it makes healing acceptable.
Yeah, so it's a amazing reality that we have, that through the hard times that we take care of our children for, a lot of our children do feel safe, understood, and cared for in our walls. And that's exactly the reason that our doors are open, is to help those kiddos go through those trials and tribulations with individuals that will show up to work with a smile on their face and be there for them. We teach them some attributes and skills to better help them and prepare them for life's challenges that will bring to us. But yeah, we just want to show up and be there for the individuals that we care for every day. Our goal is to have a world in which every person is connected to inclusive and quality behavioral health care and treatment. And we do that by continuing to show up even through the hard days, because the individuals that we're caring for, they deserve just that.
Is mental health in a crisis? I know you help a big part of that, but sometimes we don't realize that. But would you call it a crisis situation for mental health in Western Kansas?
I think everybody that's engulfed in mental health, or just the normal individual, would say yes, right? Mental health does not discriminate, right? Mental health can go for anybody. It can be a part of anybody's trials and tribulations, challenges. Everybody deserves a world where mental health care and treatment is a reality for them.
One of the things I know when you came in, it was finding the right healthcare workers, yourself included. How did you guys go about finding a team that all of a sudden there was nothing, and now all of a sudden you're taking care of 600 kids a year? Where'd you go to find people? How did you get that whole process started on such a quick basis?
So I can only speak to Hayes, obviously, because that's the direct part I'm in. But we have a bunch of community partners within the community that are positive pillars for us. The college is a great partner that we have. I think a big driving factor for a good team and just good support system is having the right people at the table. So just have individuals that you want to work with, not for. I think that everybody in our building and everybody that takes care of the children that we take care of works with each other. This hospital does not run with a singular person. It takes everybody on site, everybody on staff, and everybody every day to make this hospital run efficiently, smoothly, and to better help the individuals that are walking through our doors every day.
It's exciting to see what you do out there. Not everybody can take a tour because of all the things involved with mental health care and the safety of both the people inside and outside. But going through, you take a look at, you do a nice job of not only protecting those who are the clients, the patients, but staff as well. And the people I've met out there just seem to, that's their heart and soul, is to make Canberra a better place and to actually help all of those in Northwest Kansas that are there to get help.
Yeah, I mean, once you get into the realm to work, right, it's not a it is a very difficult job to do, but it is not hard to show up to every day, because the individuals that work here care so much for the individuals that we're taking care of. I know, Gary, I've told you, and I told you this sentence when you walk through, I think there's a misconception sometimes that we serve bad kids or bad individuals. We don't serve any bad individuals or bad kids. We serve kiddos that have conditioned that have we serve kiddos that have been conditioned through the lives that they've lived to handle things in different ways in different circumstances. But we serve a bunch of great and talented youth and individuals, and we love to serve them and better help them each day.
Trevor, thanks for taking care and taking the time out here. First, for taking care of kids. Thanks for taking the time to do this. One more time, where do they go? Camber of Hayes, how do you find out how to interact and how to find out more?
So what they can call us at our direct line, 785-624-6000. That's our direct hospital line, or the best way to go about getting admitted to any of our facilities, depending on what region you're in or your location throughout the state, is to go to cambermentalhealth.org. Like I stated previously, it's not just for direct admissions. It's not for admissions at all. There's a bunch of services. There's a bunch of information. There's a bunch of resources on that website to better help all of us involved in the mental health care that our state and everybody around us just so desperately needs.
I'm going to say this, and you can correct me right or wrong, but if something doesn't feel right with somebody you know, and it's just not clicking, they're struggling, they're doing that, that website may have some tools that you can use to know, because they may be struggling with a mental health issue. It may be something physical, but it may also be a mental health issue that you guys could lend a hand to that would be very helpful and help them work through the process.
Yeah, we have an amazing team, not only at Camber, but at KVC, that pours their heart and soul into those resources on that website. There's warning signs to look for. There is blogs. There's positive information, positive stories. You name it, you can find it on our website. All things Camber can be found at that cambermentalhealth.org. And even if you don't need any help, or I mean, everybody at the end of the day could use some type of help, but even if you want to read a positive story or some positive insight on things, you can find it on that website as well.
Trevor, tell the gang they're doing a great job out there. Thanks for joining us on our show today.
Very much appreciate. Thank you for having me. Look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you, Gary.
Hey, Trevor Kennedy is our guest today. He's the Director of Administration and Programming at Camber of Hayes. And thanks to you for listening to Forward Ever, Leading in Challenging Times. It's brought to you by Worth Wealth Management, where you can live with confidence. I'm Gary Shorman.
Thanks for joining us for Forward Ever, Leading in Challenging Times, presented by Worth Wealth Management. Join us right here next week for another episode with host Gary Shorman. Until then, remember to move forward ever, backward never.